We've seen competitive pressures in the likes of China. We've seen controversy that Elon Musk has sparked through his involvement with Doge. We've seen the Tesla takedown, the massive backlash against the company, both in the US and in Europe. That has impacted the share price.
In the first quarter, Tesla delivered a little less than 337,000 vehicles. This number was disappointing, actually, in that it was both below expectations and also below the deliveries that the company had both throughout 2024 and 2023.
Net income was down 71%, revenue was down 9% year over year. But we've had some news out of Musk that he's going to focus more on Tesla. He's done an interview where he said that he still sees himself as being the CEO of Tesla in 5 years' time. These are all very, very significant data points for investors. It hasn't been an easy year for Tesla. It's been interesting to the extent in which the worlds of politics and business have combined, and they've all coalesced seemingly around Elon Musk.
Tesla has, without a doubt, experienced some brand damage as a result of Elon's polarizing politics. And ultimately, that has resulted in weaker demand sales for the company, especially in Europe and in China, where folks are ultimately deciding not to purchase a Tesla because of who their CEO is. So I think that has been an issue, but our view is that this company is going to transition to these other areas of the business, which will ultimately be more important. And so that's really where the excitement will come from.
They're doing incredible work around energy storage, batteries. That aspect of the business was doing really well during the first quarter. And then there's the big push into autonomous driving, the AI. This seems to be very much what the future is about for Tesla, and not just the actual sale of vehicles. We've got the big robo-taxi event coming up soon in Austin, Texas.
We are very bullish on self-driving technology. Just like we are now entering and beginning into this revolution of AI, we feel the same applies for self-driving technology. Teslas, as of Q1 in 2025, they've driven cumulative over 3 billion miles. So this to us proves that the technology works and that ultimately it will be adopted. They're going to start initially with their existing Model Ys and provide unsupervised full self-driving or unsupervised FSD. Once that proof of concept comes to the market, then the company expects to kind of quickly be able to expand to other jurisdictions, California and other areas in the United States. For us, I think that's going to be an important catalyst in the story, because that's ultimately going to allow Tesla to begin capturing a significant market share of both ride sharing and also autonomous technology. Tesla right now is beginning its production of its humanoid robot, which the company calls Optimus. We expect that the mass production of this robot will come in 2026, followed by initial customer deliveries in 2027. We expect that Tesla will initially sell this robot to businesses as opposed to families or individuals, with the purpose of essentially finding efficiencies in the workforce.
There have been two big barriers to entry with Tesla. One has been cost. I do think that a cheaper Model Y is going to be a big, big deal if and when that appears. This is a company that built its brand around premium, and that's worked really, really well. But look, consumers the world over, and not least of all in America, they're going to look for the price points of these products, these technologies to come down.
They've hinted at the vehicle price being around $30,000, inclusive of the EV tax credit. At that price point, we feel like this could actually be an opportunity for Tesla to recapture some of their market share.
I think consumers, a lot of them have really short memories. Look, there were people out there who are never going to buy a Tesla car, but there are also people out there who still enjoy Tesla vehicles, who will probably forget about Elon Musk's role in Doge. It will just be something that happened, particularly in this incredibly rapid and fast-changing news cycle. So there might be a bit of a stench with a lot of consumers that's going to linger for a long time. But you know what? I see Tesla vehicles, I see Cybertrucks, I see them on the streets of New York, and this isn't necessarily the most Trump administration friendly place in the country. So I do think they'll bounce back, and I think that there's a lot of things that are going to facilitate that. I think having a cheaper version of the Model Y is going to help them. I think if they can sell investors on what they're doing around autonomous driving, I think if they can monetize a lot of what they have around AI, quite honestly, I think that if Musk can continue convincing investors that he's fully committed to Tesla, I think that's going to go a long way as well.